Welcome to Wise Minds, Wild Hearts, the podcast for heart-led high achievers just like you, ready to take inspired action and achieve true alignment. If you're craving deeper influence, greater impact, and a life that genuinely lights you up, you're in the right place. I'm Kip Clark, former academic turned entrepreneur, transformational coach, elite athlete, and shameless fountain pen addict. Here, you'll learn how to leverage the beautiful wisdom of your years with the wild passion that drives you forward. Together, we'll break through those limiting beliefs, unlock the power of your subconscious mind, and create a life that aligns with your soul's desire. Ready to create the kind of impact you've always dreamed of? Let's do this. Hi there, friend. Today, I want to talk about the concept or idea that everything has a season. So just like in nature's cycles, our businesses, our projects, our relationships, our health and fitness, all these elements in our lives move through seasons. And sometimes it's a time for planting seeds, then it's a time for taking action. There are times for harvesting, and there are times for resting. So where I live in the world right now, we're well into autumn, the fall season, and it's a truly spectacular time of year here. The leaves on the maple trees turn vibrant reds and oranges, and then birch and poplar and ginkgo trees become the most gorgeous hues of yellows and golds, and all the little creatures go into overdrive, gathering stores of food for winter. It drives my dog crazy seeing all the energetic activity on our property as squirrels and chipmunks madly dash about, stocking up their nests for winter. It's as if the world here is giving out one final, magnificently colorful and energetic push before winter settles in. And I confess, I am truly a summertime kind of girl. I love the warmth and sunshine of summer. I love the ease of spending time outside in bare feet or just without all the layers of clothing needed in winter here to keep from freezing when I'm outside. But I want you to think about seasons and about how important each one is for our overall growth and health. Without winter, for example, we wouldn't value spring so much. And without those periods of high energy and focused intention in summer, we would not be able to create the incredible bounty of what we're creating, both professionally and personally. So I wanted to take a closer look at the seasons with you, specifically as they relate to your business or any big, audacious goal you want to achieve. Okay, so let's start with spring, because spring is the phase for new beginnings and for planning what's to come. It's the season in which new ideas are born, full of hope and potential, just like those beautiful little buds of flowers. In business terms, spring is about brainstorming and planning and laying groundwork. There's some interesting work done by Dr. Barbara Fredrickson on broaden and build theory, which suggests that positive emotions, like those we feel when we're starting something new, they actually expand our awareness and they help us think more creatively. So spring is a time to embrace fresh ideas without the pressure of immediate action. And that's an important distinction here. Taking action too early without having prepared the metaphorical soil for what you're about to plant could result in a lot of wasted effort and less than optimal result in the long run. So there's a balance needed here between doing enough planning that you've established a strong foundation and not falling into the trap of over planning or of just staying stuck in the planning phase as a way of avoiding getting into inspired action. So being clear on what you want to create and why, that's the best work done in this phase, as well as determining what and whom you'll need to support you with your vision. Then after that lovely spring season, we transition into summer, and that's the time of high energy and inspired action. So in summertime, we switch into high gear. This is the season of intense work, high energy, and great progress. Just as we enjoy those wonderful long summer days, the summer season of our project or business is where the real effort goes in. Now, psychologist Mike Csikszentmihalyi, his concept of flow can be particularly relevant here because in summer we're fully engaged, we're really focused, and we're just so productive. So finding that flow state can be such a powerful way of maximizing this season of our work. And he describes flow as the combination of doing something that has a high level of challenge for us. So it's not so easy we can do it without even really paying attention. So it's got a high level of challenge, and we're able to meet that challenge with a high level of skill. So those two elements combine to produce the flow state. And the flow state is that state in which time just seems to slip away. We're so engrossed in what we're doing. We could just do it all day. We're joyful. We're completely engaged with it. It can be really fun, but it's just a really, really fulfilling state. And it's not a state that we can stay in necessarily for a long time. And for a lot of people, it can be a really elusive state. We'd like to be in it more often, but it seems to come and go too quickly. But definitely summertime, that's the time of high energy and high productivity. And then after summer, of course, comes fall, and that's the time for beginning to wind things down, for harvesting the work that we've done, and for beginning to reflect on everything. So it's the season for taking stock. After all that energy of the summer season, it's time to take a look at what worked, what didn't, and really take those lessons to heart. So this phase aligns with the concept of reflective practice, which is a well-known approach in psychology and in education. And it's an approach that highlights stepping back to analyze our actions, and it's just super, super crucial for growth. As an athlete, whenever I compete in a big championship event, I take the time afterwards to do a total debrief on all aspects of the competition and the preparation for competing. So what went well that I can celebrate? What could I have done better? How could I adjust my pre-competition training to maximize my peak performance state longer, or to achieve that at just the right time? What have I learned so that I can be that much better next time? So these are the questions that I ask and the things that I look at. It's such a critical phase or season in any endeavor we undertake, this post-event analysis. So without this autumn season of reflection and self-analysis, we're doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past, and that just naturally impedes our growth. And frankly, it strips us of joy and that sense of fulfillment too. And it's so important to keep things in perspective here, particularly around anything we identify as needing improvement. So this season, this autumn season of reflection, it's not about self-criticism or self-blame. No, 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 no. If you were out there, if you were getting your hands dirty, you've been working away at your goal, you've been putting in the time and the sweat, doing the sweat equity, you've been doing the best you can with what was available to you at the time and with what you know, that's as much as anybody can expect of you, including yourself. So if you find when you do this kind of debrief in the autumn season of your project, your business, whatever it is you're working on, if you find there are one or two things that need to be changed, great, fantastic, make the changes, but don't use them as excuses for beating yourself up over them. You tried something, it didn't work as you hoped, you make adjustments, you regroup and reset, and then you try something else next time. That's it. Leave the self-blame behind. It doesn't serve you. And then after you've gone through that autumn phase, the winding down and the reflective phase, then it's winter time. And that's the season for rest and recovery. Now, I know you may be thinking, I can't take the time off. But listen, I get it. The winter phase of our projects, this is where we need to step back and recharge, and it is critically, critically important for our overall growth and development and well-being here. So think of this as the deload period, much like elite athletes use to prevent burnout. So studies from a sleep expert named Dr. Matthew Walker show that rest and recovery are essential for cognitive and physical performance, meaning winter's rest, that rest phase is absolutely vital if we want to show up fresh and ready to go in the next spring season. Now, if you're like most of us, ambitious leaders, entrepreneurs, creatives, and so on, the idea of taking extended downtime may feel really confronting to you. You may feel you just cannot take your foot off the gas pedal or you're going to lose too much ground. I get it. I really, really do. But even the most successful people on the planet know they can't sustain that summer energy all year long without the threat of burnout. So some will take a month or more off at strategic times of the year, knowing that their work is in good hands with their team, or knowing they've set up some automatic systems to keep things going along, albeit at a slower pace, but it allows them to take some well-deserved R&R. Lots and lots of powerful leaders I know block out days at the end of each month, sometimes a full week, for example, every month of the year, so that they have regular periods of switching off from focusing on their work. And they find that's enough downtime to give them a healthy break they know they need. So whether you take a month or two off at a time, such as in December, for example, it's a great time to take a month off because most people's attention is absorbed with the upcoming holidays. Or you may decide to build in regular, smaller periods of rest time to unplug and unwind. Either way, just know it is critically important for your overall well-being to set clear and non-negotiable boundaries around your personal time for resetting and rejuvenating your energy store. And, while I've been drawing the analogy of the 4 seasons in a calendar year, these seasons I've been talking about, they can actually occur in a cycle a few times in a year or across the life cycle of your project. So you might condense the 4 seasons into a 3 or 4 month timeline, such that you have several periods of planting, of working hard, of harvesting, and of resting. And you repeat that cycle a few times over a 1-year period. So it's going to be different for everyone, and it'll depend on whatever it is that you're working on. And you get to create exactly the kind of seasonal phases, that particular timeline that will work best for you. And one of the best pieces of advice I can give to you here is to schedule your winter downtime, that vacation time, that time where you get to unplug. Schedule that first in your calendar and stick to it. We often make the mistake of thinking we're going to fill in everything on our to-do list first. We'll get all those things in the calendar, and then whatever time is left over is the time we'll take for vacation and for rest and for downtime. But you know as well as I do that almost always results in no downtime at all. I can easily fill a calendar from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. I could easily fill every moment of the day that I have throughout the year with things to do. So I have to be really intentional about this. I have to be focused and intentional about putting in my calendar the time off first. Then everything else gets filled in. And what happens is, because I get to take these periods of rest and rejuvenation, I feel so much better. I feel so much more energy. And then when it's time to start planning again and moving into the summer high energy season, I've got so much more energy. I'm way more productive. I make better decisions. I'm clearer in my thinking. Everything goes better when I've had the appropriate amount of rest and relaxation and downtime. So, where are you in your season right now? Are you in a spring phase, excited and ready to create something new? Or maybe you're in a summer season, working intensely to bring your vision to life. Whatever season you're in, embrace it fully. because each one has its own unique rhythm and its own unique gift for you. So today I encourage you to identify the season you're in and honor it, whether that means pushing forward in your summer season or slowing down and taking a well-deserved rest. So remember, just like in nature, every season has a purpose and every season passes into the next. How smoothly that goes is entirely up to you, my beautiful friend. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you'll take this to heart and really look at how you are managing everything you have to do and really consider the seasons. They're powerful. They can be a tremendous tool for organizing everything that has to get done from one day to the next, but it can also be a beautifully supportive and nourishing way of running your business or bringing that project or goal to life. All right, my friends, that's it for this episode. If this has been helpful to you, let me know. I love to hear about all the positive changes you're making in your life. And if there's someone you know who might benefit from hearing this message, please share the love, my friend. See you next time on Wise Minds, Wild Hearts.